Welcome back to the Perky Collar Radio Show here at WDRB Media. Today, my guest is Bridget Frankel, who is the founder of a company called Living the Young Life. Bridget, can you hear me?
Yes.
Excellent, Bridget. Thank you so much for joining us. And those of you that probably realize, she has the same last name as myself, and this is my wife, Bridget. So, Bridget, thank you for joining us on the show today. A little bit of arm twisting and convincing going on, but I appreciate you being on the show. The topic today is, what do you do for your business? And I think it's important for people to understand what you do each and every day for your household, but it's also more importantly for your business that you started helping other people stay healthy and have a household that is not full of drugs and chemicals and things for their household. Give us a little idea of what you do for your business.
Well, I think one of the most important things is that you kind of practice what your business is or what you're selling. So our family doesn't use any prescription drugs on a regular basis or even over-the-counter medications. We refer to homeopathy, herbs, and essential oils to take the place of those instead.
Okay, and how do people find homeopathic options?
Homeopathy actually is becoming a lot more accessible, even in your local stores. A friend just posted that even Publix grocery store now has a whole aisle of homeopathy, which traditionally you had to order online, or some of your more natural food stores like Whole Foods or Earth Fare were the only places locally to get them.
Interesting. So it seems like it's definitely a growing trend. So the advantage of homeopathy would be the fact that there's less chemicals, less additives to the prescription, to the medication. Is that correct?
That's correct. You
less side effects as well, I assume.
Right. You can't overdose on homeopathy. It is formulated to treat specific symptoms, so you do need to look into that or find someone to help you find the correct remedy. But it's wonderful as far as no side effects.
Okay, so in your mind, is it better to visit a doctor to get a sense of what is truly wrong with you and then use homeopathic medicine to treat it? Or what's the best way to identify the problem that your child's having or that you're having personally?
So a lot of that is just going to be based kind of on your experience and your history with using it. If you're brand new, then obviously you do need to seek some kind of advice if you don't know what you're dealing with. If it's just a common cold or sniffles or something like that, it's pretty easy to handle yourself. But if you're not sure if it's something, strep or the flu, you don't know exactly what you're dealing with, then you definitely need to seek someone who has experience in possibly testing to see what you do have. There are lots of naturopaths available now, which gives you a little bit more flexibility versus a doctor who might just try and prescribe antibiotics right away.
Makes sense. And is there any concern with mixing and matching different homeopathic medicines, unlike prescription or over-the-counter drugs, where you have to really be careful of interaction?
With homeopathy, there are remedies that can't be taken at the same time or that counteract each other, but they're not going to give any kind of side effects. It's just not going to work effectively.
Okay. So if you're not using drugs as a lot of people use for their student athletes or their children that are athletes, and you're using homeopathic medicines or plants, what about essential oils? That's a really popular way to treat various bumps and bruises and illnesses and so on and so forth. What do you how do you use essential oils along with other homeopathic medications that you use?
So essential oils, there can be some side effects if you're not using them in the proper dilution, or if you're taking them in a manner that's not recommended. So that does need a little bit more education and knowledge. I would definitely seek out an aromatherapist or somebody that is more knowledgeable with essential oils. If you're going with just some basics or diffusing essential oils, a lot of people like to start with lavender. That's kind of the Swiss Army knife of essential oils that works for lots of different things. Can be used topically or in a diffuser. I prefer to use, and our family only uses Young Living essential oils. They are very pure essential oil that has the seed to seal guarantee, which means they run all of the farms from planting to harvesting and then on to distilling and bottling. They do all of that within the company. They don't use any third-party companies. So that's a major guarantee that they offer.
Excellent. So the purity is very important, and there's a lot of essential oils out there. So the real key is to find one that's the most purest form possible.
Exactly. I saw the other day where somebody posted that they saw essential oils at the dollar store and at Walmart.
Wow.
Those were definitely two places that I would not buy any kind of essential oils, even if you're just using it for aromatherapy and diffusing. Those additives, preservatives, toxins, any kind of extras that they're putting in there, which for $1 or $5 a bottle, there has to be other stuff in there. It's not pure essential oils.
I see. So
even if you're not using it on your body, you're still inhaling that, and that's not going to be good for you.
Sure. So when it comes to homeopathic top 5, what are the things that you recommend? And then we'll go to the essential oils as well. You mentioned lavender is a common essential oil.
I would say the top things that we keep, arnica, both homeopathy to ingest and then also topically. I actually infuse the plant arnica into oil to use for topical. Belladonna is another great homeopathy that we keep on hand that has lots of uses.
And as you're going through each list, can you identify what those things treat?
I would leave that up to your own.
Or what you typically
research
take it for, I should say. Like, what's a typical reason you take arnica?
Arnica is great for pain relief. Our family, I'm not going to try and tell anybody that it's going to cure you or fix anything like that.
Sure.
I'm not a doctor. But in our family, we use arnica for headaches, pain relief, topically. If you've been injured, as long as it's not an open cut, we use it for that.
Okay.
Headaches. And belladonna, again, has a few remedies that we use it for. Fever, and most recently we've used it for strep. Another thing that we always keep in the arsenal, which I actually do make and sell as well, is organic elderberry syrup.
Okay.
Which is very big. It's kind of passed over from the natural-minded people into mainstream and become very popular this season with cold and flu season. It's packed with vitamin C, and then I add extra immune-boosting ingredients that help fight lots of different things that are going to be going around during the winter time.
I see. So this is kind of an alternate to Tamiflu that's often prescribed at most doctor's office.
Tamiflu has lots of very bad side effects.
But it's a common alternative, is that correct?
It is. So
Okay.
There's actually some studies done where elderberry has been more effective than Tamiflu.
Interesting.
And especially with children. It's being prescribed for kids, and it's actually not been studied or recommended for kids under 18. And it's being handed out like crazy in prescriptions. And I've seen some really horrible stories with side effects from Tamiflu.
Okay. So if your doctor prescribed, some of our listeners or people watching this on YouTube was recently prescribed Tamiflu for their kids, elderberry would be a great alternative to look into as an alternative to taking the Tamiflu.
I would definitely not take it and would not let my family take Tamiflu.
Okay. Excellent. So that's 3 homeopathic items so far. You still have 2 more that you could recommend?
The arnica and belladonna are homeopathy, and then the elderberry is another natural remedy that we use.
Okay.
And then a couple of essential oils that are great this time of year. One being eucalyptus, which is great for respiratory support. And then I think lavender is just kind of, like I said, it's a Swiss Army knife. It's good for stress, for calming. It can also help relieve with some respiratory issues, for sleep. It's very beneficial.
Excellent. And is there so our topic again today is, what do you do for your business? How do you promote this education, this awareness of homeopathic and essential oils? What do you do to promote it and educate people?
I think a lot of it is, just talking about it. Just like I would recommend a restaurant or a store to anyone, I recommend myself.
Okay. So how can people get a hold of you?
Shame in that.
Sure.
My website is livingtheyounglife.com. That will actually take you to my Facebook page. I post lots of stuff about the Young Living essential oils, but just health and wellness in general as well.
Okay.
Living the Young Life 7, the number 7 at gmail.com. And then my telephone number is 980-218-0110.
Excellent. So we have your email, we have your website, we have your phone number. Excellent. Is there anything else you want to add to the interview that helps young parents out there, or people that are struggling with the flu this time of year, or sore throats, or anything else going on this year that they can look into that would be very helpful, or maybe something that you get a lot of calls about right now because of the holidays or because of the season?
I think the biggest recommendation isn't even anything that I'm offering or selling or advice, is just to stay above the wellness line to begin with. Don't try and take care of yourself once you're already sick.
So more preventive.
Exactly. Food is your biggest medicine, and eating healthy and taking care of yourself, good sleep. Those are the things that are going to help you stay well, to where you don't have to worry about trying to catch up and get better once you've already gotten sick.
Okay. Is there any preventive vitamins or drinks or anything you recommend to help people prevent getting the flu or sick this time of year?
Well, elderberry syrup is a great preventative also. You can use it for daily maintenance. And then you just up your dosage more frequently when you are sick. So we use elderberry syrup year round. Definitely more so in the winter. We use it on and off a little bit throughout the season. It can also help with allergies as well. And when I make it, I use raw local honey, which is going to give you extra benefits from that as well.
Okay. What about vitamins? I know you see Flintstone vitamins on TV. You see Centrum vitamins on TV. I assume those are all commercialized and have very little value. Are there any vitamins you could recommend that are going to be better for preventive, along with elderberry syrup?
You definitely want to make sure you have a good quality vitamin, and it's not just full of fillers and sugars, especially for kids. Sugar just kind of feeds illness. Young Living has a great line of vitamins and supplements. Our kids take the vitamins and an extra vitamin C, chewable vitamin C every day from Young Living. And staying and maintaining healthy is going to be a lot better than trying to get yourself better once you're already sick. Vitamin C is a big one that's going to help staying well, which the elderberry syrup is packed full of natural vitamin C, which is even better than a vitamin.
So mentioning vitamin C as being so crucial this time of year, are there certain foods you recommend eating a little more of this time of year, or drinking more this time of year to help prevent yourself from getting sick? In addition to the Young Living items, vitamins, essential oils, are there other foods that you think are highly recommended, things you should pack in your kids' lunches to make sure they stay as healthy as possible, or foods as adults they should eat maybe 2 or 3 times a day instead of maybe once a day because of the time of year?
Your greens are definitely going to be high with vitamin C. Some of your fruits are. It is again going to be based on a healthy diet. You can't eat necessarily everything that you need, but the vitamin C, strawberries, broccoli. There's, I think, just a good, colorful, healthy, balanced diet.
Okay. And I assume in the rawest state possible, as far as organic as much as you can. Is there any other recommendations as far as where you buy groceries from, or how do you get these purest vitamin C foods that you serve your family, or our family, I should say, in this case?
You you want to you want to try and get local. Get to know your farmers. Go to the farmers market. We do some co-ops where you're actually participating and helping to fund a local farm, which is amazing that your money is going right to that farm, and then you're getting the produce that they're a crop share from that farm. So we buy a lot of our stuff local. Same with the beef. We get a quarter and a half a pound, half a cow at a time from a local farmer. So knowing where your food is sourced and how it's raised and what it's fed is very important, because the food or chemicals that's being used to raise those animals or those crops are going directly into your body.
That makes sense. So how does a mother know how the cow, the turkey, the chicken that they're feeding their family, how do they know how those animals are fed? Is there
You investigate, you talk to other people, and you ask. We literally, the kids and I went a few years back to the farm and to the butcher place where the cows were being raised and butchered, and spoke with the owner. He took us on a tour. Like, the places where it's going to be a good quality, they're not going to be afraid to share that information with you.
I see.
They're going to be proud of it and want to tell you that and show you that.
Now, if you walk into a grocery store like a Kroger or a Harris Teeter or a Food Lion or a Bilo, Winn-Dixie, Publix, Aldi's, any of those different grocery stores across the country, have you found any of them have been helpful or open to where they get their food from, or talk about the farmers that provide the food in their stores?
If you go, not so much the big chains, it is becoming more readily available to get organic, and especially like with things with meat and eggs. A lot of times you'll be able to find out exactly where they're coming from and how they're raised. Besides organic, you also, especially for meat, want to make sure that it doesn't have steroids and antibiotics that were given to the animals, because again, those things are just going to go directly into you.
Makes sense. Now, obviously, a lot of people say, hey, I'd love to buy organic. However, we're on a fixed income or we're on a very low budget. Is there certain areas that you think are higher priority for eating organic? Is it the fruits? Is it the vegetables? Is it the meat? Obviously, ideally, all of it you'd like to get organically, but if you're on a fixed budget or a lower budget, where should you start? What's the most important items to start organic?
There's a list called the Dirty Dozen.
Okay. Is that something they can just Google, or is that a book, or how do they get that information?
It's a list of the worst. So there's a Dirty Dozen and a Clean 15.
Okay.
And those are you can just Google that, either one of those things. So the Dirty Dozen is things, and if you think about it, like, it's things that are going to be directly going from, like, there's no skins or anything. So anything that's being sprayed or used is going directly onto those foods, like strawberries and spinach and peppers, grapes and potatoes. So those are going to be the ones that are most important, and you should really start to try with organic.
Okay.
The Clean 15 are going to be things that, things like, let me see here if I can pull up the list real quick. Some of the things, like bananas, you don't necessarily have to buy organic because they have a thick skin.
I see.
Let's see. Well, just look at those lists. That's going to give you an idea of the most important things to start with, and definitely meat, because that's where a lot of the animals are giving the steroids, the growth hormones, the antibiotics, and those are going to be just, you are what you eat.
Sure. That makes sense. Well, very good. Well, Bridget, thank you so much for being on the show. Can you again share with us your website, your phone number, your email, so someone listening or watching the show can get more information and most importantly is learn how to take care of their family in a better way?
Sure. Again, Bridget Frankel. I am with Young Living Essential Oils, but I also have a Facebook page that refers to all kinds of health and wellness. Elderberry syrup being a big one that's popular right now.
Okay.
My web address is www.livingtheyounglife.com.
Okay.
Email is livingtheyounglife7, the number 7, @gmail.com. And telephone number 980-218-0110.
Excellent. Well, thank you again, Bridget, for being on the show. And you are listening to and watching the Perky Collar Radio Show. We'll be right back after the break.